It's muted. Hey,
Hey! What's going on?
You guys missed all the riveting conversation about how I was talking about how we couldn't tweet. Riveting.
Yeah, we're early. The original plan today
We had so many plans.
film a review for this.
Yeah.
But I would like to play more of the game. I would like to get further in the game before we do that.
Rich isn't quite at a point where he can talk about the full game.
Yeah.
I would like Rich to finish
I'm
story.
fine with doing that.
I'd like you to finish the story.
The problem is we don't get games 2 weeks in advance.
Yes.
That's the problem.
That is the problem. And Rich, you had nothing else happening this week. No other things to watch. No other big reviews to do.
Right,
so.
exactly. So yesterday, or the other day,
Yeah.
when it came, that was off the table a few days ago.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Is the jury on this game still? I'm actually liking it. This game has grown on me more and more the more I've played it.
I have very complicated feelings about the game, and overall, I don't think I like it.
We cannot trust her.
But there are lots of parts of the games that I do like.
Right.
So it's complicated.
Some people value their privacy. Best not to judge, brother.
When I require your council head.
I do like the head, and
There's a head hanging on my belt.
Temple in the Lake of the Nine, and I'll get you to Jotunheim as promised.
That head talks to me.
and he's funny.
In a Scottish accent.
Giant in Midgard. Who better to tell us the way?
Yeah,
This head from Norse mythology talks to me in a Scottish accent.
yeah. I think that's fine.
It's fine.
Ancient even than these mountains.
It's fine.
all
None are left
fine.
in Midgard who speak it, except of course for me.
You do?
It's true. You wouldn't know it to look at him, but Jormungandr is a sparkling conversationalist.
All right, here we go. Boom.
So you're still playing Breath of the Wild, basically.
As soon as I got done with the story to this game, I went right back to Breath of the Wild, and I've gotten a little further in the Ballad of Champions DLC. Once you get past the one-hit obliterator stuff, it's kind of interesting.
Smooth sailing.
Well, and like when you have time to focus on the one-hit obliterator stuff, it's nice, it's neat, it's a different way to play the game. Though I did discover, while the one-hit obliterator replaces all other, all of your melee weapons,
Yeah.
you still get your bow and arrow.
Yeah.
So then it's just like, oh, I can destroy everyone with my bows and arrows and not worry about getting hit at all.
Mimir?
So Jack, what? I asked this knowing full well the answer.
Yes.
What is your least favorite aspect of Zelda Breath of the Wild?
My least
Your
favorite...
single least favorite aspect of the game.
Obviously, like I have a few qualms with the game, but overall, I would say my least favorite aspect is the weapon breaking.
The weapons breaking.
The weapon breaking thing. I don't like having to constantly pick up new weapons and cycle weapons
Right.
and they break. Yeah, I like being comfortable with my one weapon.
So you were all excited about the DLC at first because you thought, oh, it's going to make the Master Sword permanent fixture.
Permanent fixture.
Permanent fixture that Master Sword.
I
and
love
then,
that.
Then you find out, no, it really doesn't do that.
It just makes it
Yeah,
stronger.
It just makes it stronger.
Yeah.
Jack, how much would you give
On foot.
for a DLC or something that would give you infinite durability?
I'll finish later, lad.
How much would you pay?
Oh, infinite durability on the Master Sword.
Take me to it.
Okay, yeah, infinite durability on the Master Sword.
And then we could assume that I could pick up the Master Sword, like
And
whenever.
it never runs out of
and
energy.
it never runs out of energy. Ooh.
Would you pay $10 for that?
Nah, I don't know if I'd pay $10.
You wouldn't pay $10 for that?
I don't know. That's a tricky question.
Your biggest gripe with the game.
Yeah.
You were willing when it was 20.
What?
You were all over that when you thought the DLC was going to add in durability.
Well, but you get bonus content with that. Like
Okay.
you're talking about standalone, just one weapon DLC, no other content.
Yeah.
You know, no. Here you get like, oh, well, you get some trials, you get some new stuff to do, you get some new bonuses, and also, maybe $5.
Okay.
Maybe
I
$5.
thought it might be more. Your single biggest gripe with the game.
Good.
I will say this. Upon my second playthrough, I've changed up a lot of my playstyle, and I'm avoiding a lot more fights this time. And so it's definitely less of an issue for me.
Okay. Jack,
Rich,
what if I told you that theoretically, you could go home tonight and have infinite durability on your Master Sword?
what?
Infinite durability, Jack. How would you feel about that?
I would call you a liar and a fool.
You would call me a liar and a fool?
I would say, I'd say, Rich Evans, there's no mods on the Nintendo Switch.
So, Jack, what if I told you that, in theory, you could go home tonight, and have infinite durability on every item in the game? Every weapon, every elemental weapon, every shield. Infinite durability. Endless.
What?
What if I told you could have that?
I would ask you how, because this seems like a pipe dream.
What if I told you, Jack? What if I told you that this isn't a joke?
I'm interested.
How interested are you?
More interested in just one moment. All right, I finally tweeted.
Okay.
Now I'm in. Okay.
Now that I'm telling you that I am not pulling your leg, I am being dead serious.
I can get infinite
You could
durability.
go home tonight,
Yeah.
have infinite durability, not just on the Master Sword, but on all of the fire rods, all of the spears, all of the clubs,
So then
all of the
basically,
shields.
I could just have like
all of
whatever
it.
weapons I wanted.
Whatever weapons you wanted, all the time.
All right.
How much would you pay for this?
I don't know, man. I'm sticking with my $5. I don't know how important this is. I don't know what the gag is here. I don't.
What? I'm not kidding. What if I told you, Jack, the only price was your soul? Jack, you're not a believer. You're not a believer. You don't believe in souls. Would you?
Wait,
Would you give up your very soul to have infinite durability on every item in Zelda, Jack?
I would need some sort of clear-cut legal definition on what you consider my soul to be, because a lot of people think that soul is just like your free will or whatever.
You go home tonight.
Yeah.
All of the weapons, infinite durability tonight. You know what? You know the only thing it costs, Jack? You need to play it on an emulator.
There it is. There it is.
The emulated Wii U version of the game,
Yes.
which because if you play it on a good enough PC, actually looks and runs better than the version on the Switch.
I believe that. I'd absolutely believe that.
Has a mod, Jack, and you can have infinite durability on everything in the game.
But it would cost a little piece
You would have
of
to
me.
use it. It would cost a little piece of your soul, Jack. You'd have to use an emulator. I am downloading it right now.
I do hear they've gotten it to run pretty smoothly. I do hear that.
Would you do it?
No.
What if I told you, Jack? What if I told you, Jack?
Can we just keep this "What if I told you, Jack" bit happening all night? Because I love it.
That not only, Jack, can you get infinite durability on the Master Sword, on all of the magic rods, all of the magic swords, all of the spears, all of the clubs,
I could just
all
have,
of the shields.
have a shield that never breaks, and
Never
have the Master
breaks.
Sword, and like just that'd be pretty nice.
Not only that,
Oh god.
but there is a mod you can play as female Link. An extensive mod where they have not just changed the model, they've gotten a voice for it.
Oh god.
They've gotten some new animations and some new facial features just for the female Link mod. What if I told you, Jack,
Yeah.
the master cycle you get for the DLC.
Yeah.
You can mod that to be a giant floating banana.
That interests me less.
I know that interests you less.
I don't really care about.
There's another mod that turns it into the Roadrunner. The Looney Tunes Roadrunner.
Yeah, that gets into goofiness for me. But like, if you're just telling me that they could give me the motorcycle without having to work for it, now you're talking.
You can play as Linkle.
Linkle?
Linkle.
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 That's the female Link?
That's female Link. Tonight. You don't have to wait for a DLC to come out. You just gotta play it on an emulator, Jay.
Just have to give up all of my morals.
Yes.
And it would be everything I would ever
Everything
want.
you ever wanted out of that game, Jack.
You're the devil,
on a
Rich
PC
Evans.
running at 4K.
Oh my god. Oh my god, native 4K, no upscaling, go! And probably significantly smoother than it runs on my Switch because I still get a lot of frame droppage. Oh, Jesus.
He knows the pain of your loss. He will help you.
I was curious because I thought this might be the thing that gets Jack to use an emulator.
Ooh, I know. I mean, that's tempting.
Morally, you own the game.
Yeah, I know. It's a bigger issue than just that.
Nothing to be concerned about.
That is fairly tempting.
What is he doing?
Fairly tempting.
You can tell Rich was looking forward to this bit all day. I was.
No, not only was Rich looking forward to this bit all day, Rich texted me at like 11 o'clock last night.
And I basically taunted you.
And you just said, Jack, just in case I forget, I have something I need to talk to you about on stream. And this is like 11 o'clock at night. And so Rich knows like I'm about to go to bed, and he like made a special text just to me like, this is going down.
No, I don't care about the infinite durability, but there's some other just visual mods, like new outfits and whatnot. Oh, that looks neat.
Oh, sure.
New versions of that shield, that looks neat.
I bet it would be nice.
That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah. No, that would be nice, and
You can see more of the realm towers and statues.
I get it. I get it. Not quite enough to tempt me, but very close.
Yeah.
Mostly just because I don't know if I feel like playing it. After I'm done with this playthrough, I don't know if I'll feel like playing it again.
See, I'm halfway through it, my replay.
Yeah.
After hearing about all this shit I can do with the emulated version, I'm gonna start from scratch again. I was like halfway done with the complete all the shrines playthrough.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm starting over.
Starting emulating. All right. I mean, that's you can mod out the rain slipping. Ooh, see, now you're talking.
See, I would hesitate to do anything that would change the gameplay, as much as I find the rain slipping irritating.
Yeah. Rain slipping is very irritating. Weapon breaking is very irritating. But yeah, these are kind of like core gameplay elements.
Which way to the chisel?
Keep rowing towards the statues of the oarsmen.
But who, man, that is very tempting. Rich knows I disapprove. He also knows I'm not going to go out of my way to stop him. I'm not going to do more than waggle my finger at him. Like, he can do what he wants. He's a grown-ass adult.
Pay good money for the game. I feel zero guilt.
Exactly. I'm not harshing on anyone's vibe here. We're just talking. And you know what? I hope you have fun.
Thank you, John.
I hope you have fun. And I guess are you gonna mod for infinite durability?
Probably not. I probably won't do that, but I thought that would sell you. I was like very curious how you would react to that, because that was your big complaint.
That was my big complaint, and like I said, actually a lot of that has been mitigated my second playthrough because I've learned so much from my first playthrough, where it's like I now know how fighting enemies is really unimportant. And so I just, I go around, I don't worry about weapon durability, though it still does bug me every once in a while, like if I have a really awesome weapon, and I love it, and then it breaks. Or like how
Oh, we got a ghost.
breaking, you get like a hammer and you're smashing rocks open and they break all the time, or an axe to cut down trees.
She yearns for peace, yet her remains lie in pieces. I beg of you, Make my Gulvig whole again.
You want us to collect her bones? Gross.
Did I ever own a Game Genie for a console?
She can reunite you with
I
those
might have.
you've lost.
They're for the original NES.
Really?
It's the only one I ever had.
Wow.
Boy,
I might have had one for like the Super Nintendo.
It was neat.
Rest assured,
Yeah, it
her
was
magic
cute.
is strong enough
Put in
to
a little
create
code
bridges
and get, you
between
know,
life
Yeah.
and death.
fast play or infinite bullets or what. Yeah, that was cute.
boy, we are leaving.
I might have. I don't know if I used it much.
They've taken 3 of Sweet Gulvig's bones and spread them across the lake. Bring me her bones, child. Gulvig will reward you.
This emulator mod is no different than a game GP. The emulator mod isn't my problem. My problem is with emulation in general. Mods I have no problem with. Mods are great. The only problem I have with it
I
is
will not be distracted
how
by this
how many
fool's
mods do you get away from the intended game?
Yeah.
And right, then it's like, you're having
It's a
fun.
single player game. We're having fun.
Exactly. No, I have actually no problem with any mods
Yeah.
whatsoever. My problem is with emulation in general, and obviously we've had so many conversations about that. We're not going to deal with it right now, but no, fuck it. Mod your game away, man.
I just thought that might be the thing. That might be the thing that makes Jack pause.
It definitely, that it gives me pause to think, like, ooh, that was a big problem I had with the game. Brown Adam Sandler, I did see Infinity War with my kids. We're not gonna get too deep into Infinity War talk, as obviously it's opening weekend. Rich obviously saw it. I also saw it. We won't spoil anything today. No, and you too, chat. No spoilers, no joke spoilers, no nothing. Be cool. It's opening weekend. We're not talking about it. If my and you know what, my wife didn't get a chance to see it, but me and the kids went. And if my kids can be respectful of spoilers, you can. If a goddamn 10 and 6-year-old can handle spoilers, so can the chat. True Blue review. Yes, I see your tip. Can I spoil Justice League? Yeah, Justice League is out of the spoiler zone. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's been out for a while.
My fair Gulvig.
Looks like
This
you got
realm
them all.
suffers without her.
As someone who works for Twitch moderation, you overestimate the chat. I'm asking you to be on the same level as a 6-year-old. I that's asking for a lot, but I believe in you. You can do it.
It's opening weekend.
It's opening.
They have a heart, man.
Come on, right? Maybe Wednesday, maybe next week we'll get into deep spoiler talk. But yeah, for now, just let it be. Overall, I thought it was pretty cute. I got some issues with it. Not too many. I'm probably gonna see it again, mostly because my wife didn't get to see it, and she'll want to.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. I could use a second viewing.
This chisel we seek. What is it?
I'm glad you asked, actually. I have
And
just...
you can watch the review, the half in the bag. You'll know how I feel about
I
it.
bump into
There
those.
was a giant once named Fandor.
Oh right, yeah. The half in the bag is out. You'll know exactly how Rich feels.
Despite his mountainous size, was without
So?
question the
Oh,
greatest
okay.
stonemason
Yeah, gold.
the world had
Oh, thank you,
ever
Jack.
No problem.
Proud
You get
Fandor
hack
hoped to
silver.
one day pass his vast knowledge onto his son.
Do either of you have a favorite game in the favorite character in this game? Mine is Mimir,
Father had
the head.
chosen him, for the son
Yeah, I like Mimir.
Either way, a quarrel of theirs
Haven't really
spiraled
thought
out
about
of
it.
control, and the overworked stonemason bonk.
Kratos is funny. He's a good
He's a fun character.
he's a good Drax in this.
Kind of.
Chased after his son.
He's a bit Draxian.
Not really played for laughs, but yeah,
Right.
Wandering Midgard, lost and alone.
practical to a fault.
Caught the eye of one person he didn't want to meet alone that night. So far.
I like when Kratos says "boy." Well, then you'll have a lot to like in this game.
What happened now?
He says that a lot. Actually, I think we're coming up on what might be my favorite location of the game.
Ice World?
No, where? Oh yeah, this is it. Because right now, Richie, you are on the journey to get the tip of a chisel,
Yeah.
of a giant's chisel.
Okay.
That's what you are on a journey to do, and you need you need part of the tip of the chisel in order to open special doors.
My ability to concentrate in the story is going to be minimal tonight.
Absolutely.
We're streaming.
No, but this is one of my favorite locations, and you'll see why in a little bit. Like right there, look at that. That's the giant's hand.
We will take him down.
You see like the fingernail
Oh, cool.
and like his ring. Like that's neat. A fucking big ass dead giant that you get to crawl around. Ooh.
Behind you, watch out!
Yeah, get it together. Good one. Nice. Nice. Oh, big whiff. Big whiff, Rich. Let's see here. True Blue Review says, hey guys, I literally just finished watching Weird Al's UHF when your stream started, and I absolutely loved it. Thank you for recommending it. Jack, I think it would be a perfect for a review. Quite possibly. I know I called it a classic last stream, and Rich disagreed. So, at very least, Rich is wrong, and we know that. So that would be a good start to a review. Is how wrong Rich is, because UHF is absolutely a classic.
All right, whatever.
Darn, that didn't seem to do anything.
UHF is an awesome movie and hilarious. I do wonder how it holds up because some of the references were of their time.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I don't know how a younger generation would feel about UHF, but Unit 603 idiot says Rich is wrong. Well, there's a first time for everything.
Your kids watch you at UHF and they'd say, "What's a librarian?"
They know what a librarian is. They know what a librarian is. No, they would just wonder why Weird Al isn't singing his songs, because they know Weird Al for his songs, and they're like, when's he gonna sing the song? What's a Conan?
When he died, his final breath froze everything.
What's a book? They know what books is. Kids know what books is. Settle down.
I know what words are. I don't know if they know what a book is.
They know what books is.
Where would they know what a book is?
Because, you know, they go to school and shit. They read the books.
They're giving them tablets.
Well, they also have tablets, but also books. Books are still a thing. What's with the poor game audio? You know what? I actually don't know. And we've had this issue before where the audio is crackly, and I don't know why, and we haven't figured that out. It might have something to do with our Elgato game capture card, but it's also sending janky audio to us. And I'm sorry that you get the janky audio, but we can't really fix it. Ah, there it is. Look at that.
There he is.
Look at that.
Didn't they say earlier that the frost giants weren't really giants?
But he is a giant frost giant. They did say that the frost giants weren't really giants.
Okay.
But except for him, who was a real giant, and he's dead with a giant chisel in his fucking head.
And I'll find light crystal.
And it's great.
Wonder what it's for.
Be ready.
Over on your left, brother!
Yep. Yep. I did. I have completed the game. I have finished the game already. I haven't 100%ed the game, but I have. I've finished the story. And I was hoping Rich would have time to finish it as well, but I understand another big review thing was happening this week. So,
I'm liking the combat in this, Jack.
the combat is perfectly adequate, Rich.
It's good. It's just it's not adequate. It's good. This is not button mashing.
I'm sticking with adequate.
Got him in the butt.
What?
I got him in the butt.
You hit him in the butt with your axe, Rich. Oh, you got to get better at that parry, man.
This is the first time I've run across these enemies, and I'm not familiar with the timings, Jack.
Ah, sure. Pat was taken. I will discuss my full feelings on the game when Rich and I do our full review. And I don't want to get too into it yet. I have many feelings on the game. Some positive, some negative, some middling. It's all over the place. Lots to talk about, I think.
Our enemies are strong.
It's good, weighty combat. My actions feel deliberate.
Yeah. I think there's more to it than that. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Dark Matter says, let me guess, Jack hates the unskippable cutscenes. Well, of course I do, but it goes a little further than that. I have many things to say about the story as well. Structure and pacing and depth of story elements and characterization and how gameplay mechanics and story work together or don't work together. There's a lot to go into besides just I can't skip the cutscene. It's a little deeper than that. Dark Matter.
I think 10 out of 10 is going a bit far, but I like this game.
Oh yeah, I think anyone who did a 10 out of 10 might there might be something wrong with that person. Felix Omars, I don't know where you're. Felix Omar says, "Is it worth it considering it's so short?"
It's not short.
It's not a short game. The story will take you at least 20 hours, and then there's a bunch to do other than that.
And I'm going to be honest, for an action story, that's a bit long.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For an action adventure.
Oh yeah.
I think for an action game,
Yeah.
like 10 to 12 is actually a good length.
And so, yeah, I don't know where you're hearing that this game is short, because it is certainly not. With all of the side missions, if you were going to 100% it, I'd guess you'd get 40 or 50 hours. That's a pure estimate based off of the story that I finished and the little bit of the side missions that I finished. So.
What does it say?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and you know what? I haven't played the new. I know Slay the Spire recently released their new character, and I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Ah, yes. It was believed that Njord calmed the winds and seas for the fishermen. For that they loved and worshipped.
So I don't know. Ten out of 10 is equating this game to Bloodborne, which seems ridiculous to me.
It
personally.
is.
Yes. Yeah. Whoever's given this game a 10 out of 10, you should raise an eyebrow to. And we talked about this a little bit last time. Is 10 out of 10 means perfect. 10 out of 10 means there is no problems whatsoever. This is a perfect game. And you can say that about so few games. You can't say that about amazing games. So, you know. But if that is how a reviewer feels about it, then, you know, I guess that's how a reviewer feels. But, like, to say 10 out of 10, that's weighty to me. There are very few games I would give a perfect score out of. Like you know, we talked about this a little last stream, where, like, to me, Portal 1, that's a 10 out of 10. That's an absolutely perfect game. No, I couldn't find any flaws in that if I tried. Everything about that game is beautiful. But even a game that I love and I have at this point, you know, 150 hours into it, like Breath of the Wild, there's some flaws to that. You know, that's a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. That's almost perfect. You got to, for those guys...
No, not.
You got to throw a thing at them.
What? That's,
No. Look around on the ground.
That's one of those blue...
No. Look around.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, that's the red... I'm looking at the glowy blue part, but I guess...
You have to...
I guess the red things are in the way. I know what you mean now.
So you got to find the...
I've done those before.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
My eye was going straight to the blue part, and I missed that they were surrounded by the red...
The red part, yeah.
thingies.
Yeah.
Do I like this or Breath of the Wild I like better.
Portal was like a 3-hour game. Yes, a perfect 3-hour game. An absolutely perfect game.
There's nothing wrong with a short game.
Right. If it was any longer, they might have felt a need to stretch out a segment too long, or
might have overstayed its welcome,
or you know, had you retrace your steps, or done something to make it not perfect. Portal is perfect, every little bit of it. Every short bit of it is perfect.
How quickly can you beat Super Mario Brothers?
Oh, so it can't be perfect.
Right. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Don't shit your pants. Exactly. 10 out of 10. Perfect game. Very short game, but perfect.
Some of my favorite games can be beaten in like 5 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, Mauricio596 says, to me, short games can never be perfect. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. If the experience only lasts a couple hours, but it's very satisfying, why? Where do gamers get in their head that something needs to be X amount of hours?
Because some games are 40 hours.
Right.
And so that means they should all be 40 hours.
Exactly.
Even though that's not appropriate for every game.
That's like saying every movie, you know, because most movies are 90 minutes, every movie must be 90 minutes. Like, that's an acceptable average, but sometimes they're longer, sometimes they're shorter. Sometimes a movie isn't the right medium, so we turn it into a TV show, and it's better. And it's 5 hours, but over, you know, in 1 hour chunks, and it's better that way. No, every narrative story in a visual medium must be exactly 190 minutes. Exactly. Is Bloodborne a 10 out of 10 for me? Might be. It would be really hard for me to think of a criticism for Bloodborne. A problem I had with it. If not a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, definitely. 10 out of 10, maybe. I'd have to give it some thought.
Jack, is it possible you can like a game that has some flaws more than a game that has less flaws, but the highs just aren't as good? Is that not possible?
Of course that's possible. Of course that's possible.
You can't get too caught up in numbers.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole problem with the number system. Is for me, and this is only speaking for me because I know Rich is does disagree with me, but I would give something like Firewatch an 8 out of 10 if I were a number kind of person. But I would also give Breath of the Wild an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Obviously, those are two wildly different experiences. But for me, like, if I were to break down the numbers similarly, that's probably where they would end up. But so wildly different that you can't even compare the numbers. It's almost like it's a more complex situation than just a simple number score. Yeah.
No offense, brother, but I don't even think Thor with Mjolnir in hand could get through that much ice.
Yes, replayability is a factor.
This should be entertaining.
Absolutely.
A game like Zone of the Enders 2 can be beaten in 5 hours. I've probably played through it like 10 times.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. But, every game is different. And so judging different things by similar standards is a fool's errand, my friends. It's more complicated than
Oh, you prick!
Than scores or numbers. Oh!
Almost had it.
That wind up is very satisfying. When you get that wind up perfectly and just slice through someone with your axe. Yeah. Mauricio says a masterpiece with flaws is still a 10 out of 10 for me.
Right.
And to me, that's insanity because 10 out of 10 means no flaws. Like, 10 out of 10 is no flaws, and so you're saying a masterpiece with flaws is a 10 out of 10. It's that logic doesn't sit well with me. But again, numbers don't necessarily sit well with me. It's about a minutia of detail. It's about context. Dreamer TK, no, Rich is enjoying this game.
No, I'm liking it.
But there is no game with no flaws, so that logic doesn't make sense when reviewing games, says Red Ranger. Agreed.
What's Tetris' flaw?
What's Portal's flaw? What? But that leads to my other point of it doesn't make much sense to review things with numbers. It's about something greater than numbers, and there are games with no flaws. What's Shadow of the Colossus' flaw? What's Portal's flaw? What's Tetris' flaw? What's the original Super Mario Brothers flaw? What happened?
He threw a dude at me.
Hey, he threw a dude at me. Jack, do you hate animes? No, I like several animes. I like several animes. I don't extensively watch a lot of animes, but I like a lot of them. How do you feel about Portal 2? It's fine. I like Portal 1 better. Portal 2 is fine. Not my favorite. I didn't like a bit of Portal 2. I thought while the new all the new puzzle elements were cute, it kind of took away from the simplicity of the first Portal. It added some, took away from the simplicity. Like the bouncy gel, the slippery gel, all that stuff. It's like, yeah, it's cute, but more variation didn't necessarily do it for me, but it was fun, I love Potato Gladys. That was great.
Oh, that's just fun.
That's just fun. Yeah, it was fine. It was all fine. Not as perfect as Portal, but still pretty good.
See, that was a fun fight.
That's a fun fight. Yeah,
That
absolutely.
was a terribly fun fight.
The fights are fun. My issue to dip a little bit into review talk is the fights are fun. I think they're a little too few and far between. For my taste.
Wow, that was something. That.
And you have to put up with a lot of malarkey
Here, catch.
in between your
A
fights.
perfectly good
How
owl.
were you not seen? There is nowhere here to hide.
Oh, that. It's a little trick my people can pull. A special way of not being seen.
You can be invisible?
More like I can step into the realm between realms. And your mind doesn't understand what it's seeing, so it sees nothing at all. That's how we avoid ever having to actually use the weapons we craft.
We can't hear the in-game
Doesn't seem
sounds.
to work on dragons, though.
Your brother wanted to know if you're getting enough
Do you see any
to eat.
blips while he's
I
talking?
guess I could tell him you are.
No.
Brock was asking
Do you hear
about-
anything in the game?
Was there meat on his breath?
We can't go too loud because when the battle starts, but
You let him touch this again.
just go up a little bit.
How about that?
Not too much.
How about that? Is that better?
Yeah. Because when the battle starts, then it'll get nuts.
Come on, then.
I can hear it, just not when you're talking. That's how we want it.
Isn't that the point?
That's that's exactly how we would like it to be. Yes.
Okay, now shush. I need complete silence for this.
Dude.
There you go.
Yeah, Brown Adam Sandler. That is a little too spoily, but that's very funny. I got your tip. Pretty, amusing. This one.
Okay.
Uh,
A little,
I'm no spoiler. Spoiler.
What speaks to you?
It is a somewhat awkward menu to
And
navigate.
what can I do for you?
Yeah.
Aim carefully.
That's the best I can give you on that.
What shall it be?
Don't spoil Jack 3. No, I've seen Infinity War. So if you're going to give me a tip to spoil it, that's fine, but don't spoil it for the chat.
Ooh.
That's the important part. Don't spoil it for chat. You need 24 smoldering embers.
Where do I get smoldering embers? Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh, where do I get smoldering embers? There is a what do you call it? There is a vestigial world, a world in which you do not necessarily need to go to. That's like a burning world, and I believe you get smoldering embers in the burning world. Because there's Midgard, which we're in now.
Yeah.
There's the world you went to before. There's Jotunheim. There's other realms you can go to.
Yeah.
To get shit.
Like, I don't think there's enough bang for the buck for this one to be worth it.
Well, and
It's
you
neat,
just,
neat looking though.
you can't. You
I like
can't.
that. I
You
like
can't
that
get
cauldron.
it. You don't have any embers.
I know.
So don't even worry about
You
it.
can think ahead.
Oh, sure. Ooh, that one's nice. Big defense buff. That's good.
Big cooldown buff,
Yeah,
which could be
that could be nice.
neat. Wow, these seem all around worse.
Some of them. Some of them do. Do. Let's see here. I am Matt White. Says, hey, Jack and Rich, I have finals next week and feel like the weight of the world is crashing down on me. How do you deal with stress?
Poorly. I can't. I am of no help to you. I'm absolutely of no help to you.
Poorly. I turn into a quivering wreck
Yes,
and I cry.
Yes.
Many, many tears. And, you know, myself is I just take it a little bit at a time, my friend. If you find yourself in a situation when you're overwhelmed, just start breaking up the overwhelming things into pieces.
But how do we move forward?
And tackle a little bit of your problem at a time. Like, okay, in order to do this one big thing, I know I need to do all these little things. And then eventually you do a couple little things and the momentum starts to pick up. So.
Careful! My shop's right here!
Break it up into smaller bits, my friends.
I have more information on that whetstone I mentioned earlier. Do you
And
remember the dagger you gave
it's
me?
okay to do some things to better your personal health. A little meditation time. Take 20 minutes of quiet time. Just don't listen to music. Don't do anything. Just take some time to get inside your own head. Journaling. I don't know if anyone has tried that. That really helps me when I get stressed out. Is you do like 3 pages of free writing. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's a wonderful way. You know all that crazy bullshit that rattles around in your brain at all times. If I find myself getting really stressed out, like if I have a lot of projects, what I'll do is I will free write 3 pages, which is just you keep writing until you fill 3 pages in a notebook.
Well, then you've left a paper trail of your weaknesses. You can't do that.
Well, you can burn it afterwards. But the point is, once you get them out of your head and onto a piece of paper, I find that it relaxes me a lot. It's just some,
Oh, I get it.
yeah. What?
Well, that didn't work.
What do you get? Oh. So, that could be something that is helpful to you. Give George R.R. Martin that tip, please. He did a really great like Q&A with him and Stephen King recently. George R.R. Martin and Stephen King, and they had a funny little back and forth about how Stephen King just writes so goddamn much, and George R.R. Martin is just like, what the hell? How do you do that, man? It's like sometimes I'll just look at a blank page and stare at it all day, and that'll be my day. And Stephen King's like, just write. Who cares if it's garbage? Just write it. Write it out, man. I wrote a book while we were having this conversation. It's garbage, but it'll sell great, and I wrote it. But you know, the point is, if you get stressed, you have to find some way to deal with it, or it will eat you.
He's kicking my ass.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, fuck!
Brother, no! Brother, no! Who cares if it's garbage? Stephen King, 2018. Guess what, my friends? That's a lot of the creative industry. You just got to do it. You'd be surprised. How many bad movies have we watched over the years, Rich? How many bad movies have you seen in a movie theater? Just do it. Just make something, and you've done it. Who cares if it's garbage? Did you see Justice League? Someone made that. In fact, several people made that. Oh, this guy has wicked reach, by the way.
I can see that.
Yeah. What difficulty setting are you playing at?
Normal.
Normal? Okay. That's what I played at as well. Is the balanced setting?
Yeah.
A fair challenge. Yeah. Don't let your dreams be dreams. That's right. That's right. Just do it. Just fucking do it. But you waste your time on garbage when you could be productive. Well, unless you're trying to professionally be a writer, in which case sometimes you gotta just do some garbage. Sometimes you just gotta make shit.
Does the shield parry just not work on him?
No, you've been failing. The shield parry only works when it's yellow. If you see the red circle, that's something you can't parry. And so you just have to dodge the red circle. But when it's a yellow circle, you can shield parry, and you've just been missing it. But if you see a yellow circle, it can be parried, but you just have to hit the timing right. See, so that was red, and you can't parry that.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that one I think you just missed the timing. Nice dodge. Nice dodge.
Oh, that was not exciting.
What? The parry?
Yeah, I got the parry, but it wasn't. Oh, did it knock armor off then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so the parry knocks armor off.
That was good.
Well, you've been slowly knocking armor off in the whole fight.
Do with that.
Okay.
We will show it to the dwarves.
Lemire, you knew this place before?
I came here on a diplomatic
As a
mission
paid
once,
writer,
trying to broker a
used to
peace between
write.
Asgard and
Fail,
Valheim.
write some more, then write some more, like anything. You just need practice. It's true. Like, for anything in the creative field, sometimes you just have to put all the garbage out there, and then you just edit it
Or
later.
between the gods?
But so I think a lot of people in the creative industry or who are trying to get into the creative industry, get so bogged down in making it perfect
Paranoia is surpassed only
from
by
the
Thor's
get-go, they
lust for
forget
blood.
to just make things. Because it's not perfect, so why even write it down if it's not perfect? But you just gotta write the garbage first, and then you make it perfect later. Who's the third man talking? If you see on Kratos' belt here, Rich, can you get a little closer? Move the camera around. See that dismembered head on Kratos' belt? That's Mimir, and he has joined us on this journey, and he's kind of our guide. He's going to get us into Jotunheim. But first, there's a bunch of shit we got to do.
Thirst.
First, in order to get us to Jotunheim, there's many things we have to do first.
Huh. What now?
But Mimir is another is a good always comic relief companion with us.
Ooh, you got most of it.
Do that again?
Did we sever his head? We did.
On his request.
Right. Odin had trapped him in like a forever tree or something, something Nordic, whatever. And he had been trapped in a tree for hundreds of years, and so at his request, we removed his head, and now he's just a head. And my favorite part of that is Kratos just refers to him as head. Like, he doesn't call him Mimir. He just says, head, where are we supposed to go? Yes, this classic Kratos. Am I right?
He's a fun character.
Mimir? Or
Kratos.
Yeah.
Not even call it head. practical to a fault.
Kratos is fun with these other flavor characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, by himself, he'd probably be a little bit much, but there's enough comic relief around him.
All right, do we climb that thing? Yeah, I think we climb that thing.
Why are we going up when what we need is all the way down there?
Think.
Yes, boy.
The
Head.
tip is under thick layers of ice,
Woman.
so melting it won't work.
Correct.
And there weren't any shattered crystals nearby for me to shoot, so that's not an option.
Correct.
That just leaves smashing the ice. We need something ridiculously heavy to... Oh, I get it now.
Good.
What?
How are we going to turn the hammer so it lands near the chisel tip?
Let's
Not
see
possible.
here.
We cut it free,
Baba
run it
Yaga
down,
Lala
and
says,
figure
will
out
there
what
be
comes
any
next
spoiler talk
after.
of Avengers at the end of the
No.
stream? No, we won't even do a it's spoiler time cutoff thing today because it's so fresh. It just came out this weekend. Maybe on Wednesday we'll do a cutoff time.
Yeah.
But I mean, even then, it's pretty fresh and spoiler alert, there's stuff to spoil.
I have to imagine, though, by Wednesday, people who are going to see this movie, probably who watch us, probably have.
Probably have already, right? So my guess is like the second half of Wednesday we'll make a cutoff point and say now is the time in which we will spoilery discuss Infinity War. But not today. No spoiler talk today. And
It only fell a little ways.
you as well in the chat. No spoiler talk. Not even jokes. Atomic Mousetrap says, Jack, does a game with a parental relationship in it appeal to you more because you're a parent?
Well, he hates it, so I'm going to say no.
I mostly don't like it. That's true.
I like this.
I know. Yes. Rich mostly likes it. I mostly do not like it. Here,
But how do we get to it?
here's my joke about that is there is no in the game there is no tell your son he did a good job button.
So, that's Kratos.
But that's kind of the
That's the-
story of the game.
that's-
Even in Zelda, there's a pet your horse button, and you get
What does
and
it
you
say?
you get a stronger relationship build with your horse in Zelda than you do in this game.
No symbols.
Look, I'm not going to pat my kid in the head. He's a barely adequate warrior.
He's in there. He's shooting arrows.
Why start with winter?
Maybe if you patted him on the head a little bit, he'd learn something instead of just yelling at him.
Kratos has worked with 50 other archers who would be better for the job.
Music either.
Right. Maybe because Kratos took the time to train them and encouraged their murderous abilities.
Try that.
Banter. Sumo. No, that wasn't right.
Try that.
I missed something. I'm apparently in the middle of a puzzle.
Oh, yeah, you might have needed to listen to him. Or
Still nothing.
Boy, the order from the song again.
Winter, spring, summer, autumn.
Oh, I get to...
But something you might have missed him say is it was written backwards.
Winter... Oh, okay. Winter, spring, summer, autumn. So backwards.
That is also true. In Zelda, there is no pet the dog at the stable button, which is a crime. That is a crime in Zelda that you can't pet the dog. Rich is playing Daddy Issues are we playing Daddy Issues drinking game? Absolutely. Prepare to get crunk at every point.
Do it.
House. Sumo. Fox.
But I guess I was kind of expecting.
Atreus, that word.
I was expecting a little something gameplay involved with the bonding with your son story.
Whatever.
And so as a parent, it didn't really resonate with me because, you know.
The kid does get better as the game goes on.
Yeah, but
The energy's lifting the pipe.
you have very little to do with that besides you beating up people. You beating up people gives you experience to pass on to your
How
son.
much is possible?
So parenting,
No, but you don't do anything.
I get experience
In the menu, you click a
that I
button.
pass on to my son.
No, but you don't do anything besides click a button in the menu.
Okay.
Why did they stop?
Give me an encourage your son button.
Oh, you and your arty farty bullshit.
I do. I'm sorry that I want gameplay and story to have thematical elements that work together.
It's an option, not a necessity.
I'm trying to move the art form forward.
I just want to beat things up and have fun.
Yeah, that would work too.
I'm having fun beating things up. Ergo, I am fine with this.
Yeah, that's a little preview of the episode. Full episode. We'll probably end up filming later this week, which needs to get a little further.
Well, depending on what happens with the other thing, it might be early next.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. Well, we'll get around to it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We will make a God of War episode.
Attack ramp.
I love. That's my favorite move. That wind-up, big two-handed axe swing. Very satisfying.
I'm not shocked at all that
Very
Oh,
satisfying. Oh,
Kratos.
Big whiff right there. What I'm saying is there is a lot of this game that is satisfying combat.
Yeah.
There's a lot that works.
That's all I ask.
Yeah.
Energy lifting us from without.
There's a lot that works. This isn't a total failure as far as I'm concerned. I know I'm coming down harsh on some story elements. Also, Rich, you need to hurry because if you notice here, there's a little thing on top.
Oh, what do I need to do?
If you don't beat the bad guys fast enough, the thing
Okay,
falls.
so I just gotta beat the bad guys.
Yeah.
Back to writing before the floor collapses.
If you don't beat them fast enough, the floor collapses. Jack, one of my favorite things about God of War was the spectacle boss fights. Does this game have those?
It's got some good boss fights.
Some.
What do you mean by spectacle?
The big boss fights.
Okay.
The big boss fights that are sometimes cutscene-y, sometimes quick time event-y. It has some of those, yes.
Yeah, I'm not as big on those. But there's certainly at least one.
Brown Adam Sandler, yes. I'm sorry that you went away for a little bit, but I did get to your tip. I didn't read it because I thought it wasn't spoilery, but it was very funny. I thought so. So I won't read your tip because it's spoilery.
The energy's lifting us. Attack ramp. You okay?
Yes, Turbo Dangerfield. We're early today. We originally were going to film the God of War review episode today, but Rich
I wanted to get further.
isn't as fur as we'd like him to be. Rich needs 10% more fur. Maybe 20% more fur.
Well, how far am I in the story? 'Cause you've beaten it.
Not again.
Maybe. Oh man, I forget. I'm gonna say only halfway.
Okay.
I'm gonna say about halfway. But you might be like 3/5, maybe a little more than halfway.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Then you kick him right off the thing. That's awesome. Ah, it's great. Yeah, I'm getting confirmation of people saying a little over half or half. So I'll agree with that. Rip him in fucking half!
Stupid bitches.
Can the kid die in the fighting? No. The kid can never die. He can be knocked down, which just means he's not available to shoot arrows. And the kid does a lot on his own, shooting and fighting bad guys. But actually, like what you just saw Rich do is you can actually point to things that you want him to shoot, and it's very helpful. And decent in the fighting mechanic, like especially with those dumbass witches where you really need to shoot him a couple times to stun him. But no, the kid's all right. Once you get the kid leveled up a little bit, and he does more, and you can level up his arrows and make his arrows stronger, it turns into a little badass. He's out there, he's jumping around. He can summon beasts with his arrows.
How are we feeling about the story? It's fine.
It's a fine idea for a story. Fine idea for a story. I think it's handled very poorly, which I can't get into for spoilery reasons.
He wants to pet the kid button.
I want to pet the kid button. Why can't I pat my kid on the head? No, there's other reasons too. There's a lot of problems I have with the story. But just a little button that's like, hey, wouldn't it be great if, like, after a fight you could be like, good job.
No.
You did adequate. And maybe that would affect, like, how the kid levels. An encouragement button.
What if I don't like how he did?
Then you say that, and that affects how that affects it all. That's like a decision you'd have to make as a parent. And what if that would affect the gameplay? That'd be crazy. Then that would be like theming story with gameplay. And that would be a great idea.
Stupid witches.
Yeah, those witches suck. A helicopter parent button, right? Like if you encouraged him too much, maybe stuff would happen, or not enough, or in the wrong way, or it would just be different paths, and it would just be different depending on how you were as a parent, or how you feel Kratos would be as a parent. Like you would get to mold that. Great.
Father, the ball dropped away.
Is there a Jack is wrong button? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kid, what are we doing?
Just more enemies.
Nope. That's what
There's the Jack is wrong button. Exclamation point Farscape. That's the Jack is wrong button. Type those buttons into chat, and then you get the Jack is wrong. Ooh, also there's another one apparently. Exclamation point Germany, which says when asking for Jack's opinion on something, remember this: he wasn't sure if Germany was in the United Kingdom or not. Which that has very little to do with my opinion. That's geography. What are you doing?
hitting guard instead of aim.
Gotcha.
Jump!
Oh!
Well, what I'm saying is geography and knowledge of pop culture things are very different.
You did well.
Thanks.
The boy.
Just having a little fun, you big grump.
There's like 5 commands about Jack being wrong. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it happens. It's important to take
Well, there it
things in
is.
stride.
How are we going to get it free?
A push. Trust me. Ready. Dig in and push with everything.
What is the last
Yes, sir.
book I read? The last book I listened to, as I've been listening to more and more audiobooks recently, is Differently Morphous, the new Yahtzee book, the new Yahtzee audiobook, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Yes, it's beautiful. And recently I'm starting to listen to, in the completely opposite direction. I started We Are Legion, We Are Bob, but then got distracted by a different audiobook called The Color of Law,
Yeah.
which is a nonfiction book about the history of racial segregation in city planning.
That sounds depressing.
Oh, by the way, horrifically depressing, but very interesting. It's a real downer.
You could have read a fun book about space travel.
Yeah, it's a real downer, but also really fascinating. So that's me reading with my ears. I find that works better with my schedule.
Talent for destroying
Is
Remember that head.
never leaves my mind.
you know, I can put on an audiobook and then like get my laundry done, do the dishes and stuff. I can multitask that way.
Now, let go and get the chest. Nope. That's not an option. It's not an option to let go and go down and get the chest.
Because you could obviously get there.
I could easily jump down there, get the chest. But that is not an option.
You have to wait for the cutscene thing to happen, and then maybe you can get down. Do you think one retains the information the same way having read it? As long as you're paying attention.
Zelda has ruined invisible walls for gaming.
Oh my god, right? You just want to climb on everything. Yeah.
Not now.
Like I can't. There's no way I'd be able to, like, you know, I know Rich does. You do this a lot where you like listen to stuff while playing video games.
Very frequently.
And I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to retain any information. But if I'm doing the dishes, that's a pretty mindless activity, and I can listen to a book and fold the laundry. You know.
Yeah.
There's no way I could do anything like play a video game and listen to an audiobook and still retain the information. So. Ooh, that's a really good way to put it. Our Avi Rasab says Kratos' godhood is only limited by the game design.
Those are the guys we saw with the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His nephews?
Sometimes Kratos can do
me and-
very strong and amazing things.
Yeah.
And sometimes
My uncle said the
he
Aether was the
just
worst of gods.
he
Thor
can't
was the worst
jump.
of the Aether.
Sometimes he can't
His
do
terrible father,
anything.
too.
They are no longer children.
He should
They
be able
have
to do
no
big old
excuse.
Hulk jumps.
Worse than
He
Dreamy
really
Elf.
should.
They'll never even.
Oh, of course. Do you think maybe Rich Evans is just so much better at this game than Jack, thus a different scoring of the game?
They are really hammering you.
They are out for blood today, Rich. They are just out for blood.
Envy of all Madrid.
I mean, I beat the game,
I remember there being a
so
It's not your day today, Jack.
we're having an off day. That's fine. You know what? That's fine. I have cake and ice cream at home. I'm gonna go home and
Yeah.
eat cake.
You're getting hammered for God of War opinions. You just missed out on an infinite durability weapons in Zelda.
My emulation stance on emulation is all wrong.
Can't help but break things, can you?
Everything's terrible.
Where'd I go?
It's okay. We're all here having a good time. Everybody's here. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
It's a lovely day.
Just on the other
What a
side of
wonderful
that
day.
wall of ice.
Okay, I guess we gotta keep. Nope. Shit.
Don't try to do anything clever, Rich. Just do what the game wants you to do. What's Jack's stance on emulation? I generally don't care for it for several reasons. Legality, morality. Well, also super legality because we make money off of these streams, and so emulating and streaming, it's
you know, I don't know what Twitch's policies are. I would avoid it, like streaming it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
seeing as I own Zelda Breath of the Wild, I feel no guilt playing an emulated version of it.
And that's fine. That's fine and fair.
Velociraptor? What the fuck is that?
I think it's a wolf. Maybe that's a wolf?
Yeah, I think so. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye, though.
Oh, sure. It'd be great if there were velociraptors.
Ah, you stupid.
Ooh. Yes, both Rich and I have seen the Avengers. We're not going to really talk about it, though, because, spoiler, because it's opening weekend. But also, apparently, though, we don't really need to worry about spoilers because, according to box office reports, everyone has seen the movie. Just fucking everyone has watched this movie already, as it has made approximately all the money.
Can I counter this guy?
I don't know.
No.
Really? Yeah, I'm gonna guess there's no good counter for giant hunk of rock falling on you.
We fucking throw mountains around.
Kratos' godhood is very dependent on the game design.
I understand this.
What's this over here? Ugh. Smells awful.
You just can't help but break things, can you?
Let's see here. Edo Caneto says, hey guys, what would your top 5 boss fights in Bloodborne be? Would you rather see a Bloodborne prequel or sequel?
Memory serves,
If you had to
the
choose
Jarl's
between
home
the two.
was just on the other side of that wall of ice.
That last one, I really don't care.
I'll be with Rich. Whatever they want to make.
I'm not a lore whore.
A lore whore?
I just made that up.
I
don't
like
know.
it. Punch him in the dick. Punch him right in the dick. Yeah, whatever game From Software wants to make, I'm with them. They've earned enough credit in my book. They get to do what they want. Top 5 bosses. Is a big ol' I don't know, my friend. Big ol' I don't know. There's so many boss fights that I loved, and so many that I hated but were very rewarding to eventually beat, and so many that were just a big pain in the ass. I know everyone hates it, but I really liked the Mikolosh fight.
That's the cage head guy, right?
The cage head guy, yeah, you know, running around the stairs and then just, you know, ending in the brawl in the room, and I thought he was spooky to me. I don't know where I'd rank that fight, but there were some good ones. The King. Who was the king of of Canehurst Castle?
Yeah, that's a fun one.
That's a fun fight.
Was that Master Logarius?
I don't know. Logarius. Oh yeah, they're saying Logarius. Great. Yeah, that fight was really boss. I love that.
I like a good duel with human-sized enemies. So
Yeah.
that's fun one. Father Gascoigne.
Smells awful.
I mean,
Shadows of Yarman.
Yeah, there's a lot
The
of.
three shadow snake guys.
Oh yeah. Those are cool.
Great things, can you?
Really, just any. To me, over the boss fights is just like any new enemy you came across, like a normal size enemy. You know, the first time you come across an ogre, it's the biggest deal in the world. The first time you come across the snakehead guys in the forest, it's the most unnerving thing. Just every new enemy, the bughead enemies. Once you get to the lake, it's so weird. I loved all of them. Like you don't even need. I didn't even need the bosses. I could be satisfied with an entire Bloodborne run with no bosses. Just weirdo enemies. What difficulty level is he playing on? Normal difficulty.
Why are people so obsessed about that?
They really are. I never understood that. This is, I believe the developers call it balanced, but it's normal. Because normal is easy these days? No, this one has an easy. This one has a I'm just in it for the story mode.
I want to throw a thing at him. Oh well.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice if you got to...
Yes, the game isn't perfect. It doesn't allow you to do anything you could conceive that you could possibly do, Jack. I'm very sorry that the game did not psychically read your mind and realize the things that Jack
Psychically
Packer
read
would
your mind?
want to
It's
do.
right there, Rich. No, I came across that same situation. I have a note written about it, which is why I bring it up. I have many notes about this game. I have a specific note about the fact that you have explodey gems right there and a giant ogre and a giant frost ogre, and you can't use the explodey gems on the giant frost ogre. That
4 out of 10.
I never. Yeah, that's probably what I'd give it.
So Rich likes this game more than Jack. I think that's very safe to say at this point. Yes.
Yes, that is a safe thing to say, right?
You just can't help but break things, can you?
And maybe it didn't help that I was coming right from Breath of the Wild to this, where you
So
can
did I.
do whatever
So
you
did
want.
I.
Yeah, that's true. But that just seemed like a thing that made sense to me. Like, oh yeah, how fun! They're giving us the explodey things here. Nope, can't use them. Can't pet your kid. Can't use the explodey gems. Can't jump down to the treasure that you should be able to. 4 out of 10. Was I looking for more exploration elements? No. But like I said,
It sounds like exactly what you were looking for, though.
no. Like I'm saying, a specific thing here is they give you an explodey weapon that you can't use during the fight. You can't use the explodey weapon for any fight. It's just a. I was hoping for some more gamey type things, some more options, not necessarily exploration. Just more gamey type things. I wanted to be able to make some more choices. It's not necessarily about world exploration. Just I wanted me to make some choices. Can't you shoot the red crystal and make it blow up? I don't know if that would affect the ogre at all. Gulpy, this is a spoiler-free zone for Infinity War. Please, no Infinity War spoilers. Even if you are joking and making up a joke spoiler, we say none of that because no one knows what is a joke spoiler and what is not. So no spoiler whatsoever. Usually anything, any spoiler-y type things will result in, at very least, a temporary chat ban. Oh, you have the dwarves.
I don't use his stuff enough.
Do you have the wolves?
Yeah, I think so.
I recommend the wolves. They do a decent amount of damage and a decent amount of stun. And it's nice, at least to start off. It stuns a bunch of enemies.
It's the first one you get. I figured it'd be the weakest.
It does pretty all right.
How do I feel about the R3 finishers? You earned them. I like them. The whole stun mechanic. Stun damage versus axe damage. Though the stun damage heals over time, and it's more effective on some enemies than others. I might like more of a reward for it. It'd be nice if you got a little bit of health regen, but in general, I like the mechanic.
And some of the R3 kills are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I too would like a reward.
I mean, sometimes the reward is you kill the enemy. But
sure.
It's not always fatal.
I'd love a Doom-esque, if you can pull off one of those kills, you get a little bit of health or a little bit of Spartan Rage build up. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if not health, because they don't want to be too much like Doom, I'd be fine if that increased Spartan Rage.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Prepare yourself.
But yeah, it can be fun. There you go. Nice deflect there. Fuck it, I'm punching you all. Also, that's one of my favorite moves is when you do a big move and your kid jumps off of your back and shoots them in the air. It's so badass.
Are the kids down?
Why do they need extendable claws? That's their it's almost like their second form. Once you get them down in enough health, they grow the claws so they're more dangerous. So it's actually nice. It's like a second form for a minor enemy. And it really makes you think about how much you want to damage them. Or it adds a little bit of an oh shit moment where you see their claws growing and you're like, oh, I have to finish them quickly or else they will hurt me more. So it's actually a pretty nice little mechanic.
A tough fight.
I don't fully hate the game. There are a lot of things I enjoy about the game. And the combat is one of the things. Overall, I do like the combat. I have my issues with it, but...
Oh, I love it. It does not feel button mashy. It does not feel button mashy.
That's true.
It's good, solid combat. I got to think about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it.
And you know what? Your axe is cool. I'm putting this out there. I love the whole throw the axe, bring it back to your thing. It's cool.
There's a lot of difference between going bare-handed and using the axe.
Yep. And you get those cool moments where you throw your axe, do a little barehanded, call your axe back to you. You almost wonder if they were working on a prototype Thor game. Because, you know,
That would make sense.
That's Mjolnir. And then they couldn't get the rights or just didn't want to deal with dealing with Disney's lawyers.
Yeah.
Or Disney didn't want to pay him any money.
Anybody can use Thor, just can't be Marvel's version of Thor.
Right, oh, right. Or if they put together a prototype to sell to Marvel and Marvel wasn't buying, and all of a sudden Sony's like, I don't know, stick Kratos in there. I'll pay for it.
I was fully expecting Mjolnir to be an unlockable weapon in this. I'm assuming it's not, as you have said nothing about it.
If it is, it's not anything I've come across.
Okay. And you beat the game, so...
Well, I beat the story.
Something like that would be part of the story.
Yeah. Not even Disney can patent ancient mythology. You never know, man.
Well...
They're two strokes away.
Alright, in ancient mythology, does Thor's hammer always come back to his hand?
Ooh.
Yeah, or is that something Marvel can patent? Copyright.
Or could they at least argue it and they have the money and lawyers to win?
Sure.
Right. Ooh, now you're talking.
Alright, I got all the things. Oh, here we go, I think.
People are saying they think it does in mythology. The hammer came back.
So they could totally do that then.
Yeah.
Something ahead.
See, Lodge, he's fine. Thought it best to vanish when Thor's idiot sons showed up.
Hey, Sindri, could you take a look at this?
Honestly, I don't have much else going on right now. The Travelers. Oh, disgusting. Smelly, covered in God knows how many little beasties, but gorgeous armor. Let's see if I can't make something more sanitary. Yes?
Oh, the dwarves.
Once you retrieve the whetstone, please take
classic
care while handling it.
Isn't
It
Mjolnir
is
the
a priceless
Spartan
relic after
armor
all.
in Halo? I don't know. Mjolnir, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, is Thor's hammer.
I think they named the armor in Halo after it.
Oh, there you go.
What are they saying?
They're saying, isn't that the armor
Oh,
from Halo?
yeah, no, it's named after Thor.
Ah, okay. Thornir?
Yeah.
Mjolnir?
Yeah.
Mew Mew? That's always my preferred pronunciation. Mew Mew.
It's a mythological thing, and Halo did not invent the name.
And neither did Disney.
No, they didn't. You could have your own Mjolnir in a game.
Oh, yeah. But just to be safe, we're not gonna. Just in case.
I don't think. All right, if they did start developing this as a game about Thor, not Marvel's Thor, but just mythological Thor,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily Marvel that scared them off. It's like we could attach this Thor idea to this God of War franchise, which is popular,
Right.
and we get money that way. It could have just been that.
Oh yeah, no. In my headcanon, which I'm sure is not true at all, the original intent was to sell the game to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, we can hook this up with your Thor franchise, and that's an income for us. And since that didn't work, they took second best, which is selling it to Sony. Which is why God of War has a hammer, or has an axe that returns to him. Also, it's very possible that this was a God of War game from the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I honestly just don't care. It's a neat axe. I love that you can throw it and it comes back to you. I think it's neat. Beef Thirst says, Jack, please stop saying Mjolnir. It's physically painful to listen to.
How do you pronounce it properly?
Beef Thirst, I will try to stop saying Mjolnir so often, and I'm sorry that my pronunciation of Mjolnir offends your eardrums.
If it's the proper pronunciation, you just keep fucking saying it.
I was planning on keeping on saying Mjolnir no matter what, because I get to do what I want. I got a mic in front of me. Mjolnir.
Once you retrieve the whetstone, please take utmost care while handling it. It is a priceless relic, after all.
Mule deer. Ooh, I like mule deer better. Does he have a guy's head on his belt? Yes. That's Mimir.
He talks.
And he talks to you, and he's
alive.
He's helping us find our way to Jotunheim, the land of the ice giants, so we can spread our dead wife's ashes on the tallest mountain in all the realms.
Kratos' new dead wife, as opposed to his last dead wife.
That's a really important distinction, because he also has a new kid, very distinct from his old kid, who is dead.
Well, this is his live kid.
This is his live kid. Also his new kid, right.
Be gone before they even notice.
Yeah. Boy. Surrender. The All Father demands it. No. Good. This fight is mine, boy. Go.
And where do you think you're going? Oh no, brother. The little
These
freak's
are,
got a bow.
I think we've been introduced to these characters before. These are Thor's sons, Magni and Loti.
Don't tell me what to do.
Otherwise known as Steve and Harold, yes. Oh, come on. There you go.
I can't remember the last time we faced an actual challenge.
Oh, this is a challenge. An old man and this.
Are these Natalie Portman's kids? Right? Yes, Thor and Jane Foster finally had children. And we get Magni and Loti. That's why they're so pretty. Look at them. Dizzy Death? No, it's not a plot device. It's the plot motivation to have you take the wife's ashes to the highest mountain. That's the. It's not a. I mean, I guess it's a plot device, but it's also just the plot. It's the kicking off point to our story of a father and son rebuilding their relationship and taking a real life journey, but also a journey
Why do you
of
want us?
development.
What does Odin want?
And
Oh, no, don't care. Come here.
I've lost
Wait,
it.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Shut up! Don't call me that!
Okay, I get it. This is neat.
Yep.
Can't believe you, lad. Those skinny little arms can barely lift the bow.
I said
This is neat.
Calm yourself, boy.
Looks like they need another lesson. More than happy to teach
No, like, and there are convenient plot devices in the story. There's a lot of you need a thing to get to where you're going. Bring the thing back to where you are now. Oh wait, you need another thing. There are that, but generally taking your wife's ashes are not a convenient plot device. It's just a that's the bones.
Shut it out. Focus.
If I were Thor, I'd get a paternity test. Blonde and red-haired sons. One, genetics that can be a gamble, and two, he's a god, so it's all crazy, wishy-washy stuff.
Well, is mythological Thor even blonde?
Great question. Or have we been so indoctrinated with Chris Hemsworth, the greatest of the Hemsworths, that that we just think that's how? I assume Thor's a blonde because he's a Norse god, but. Also, though, like, it's all messed up. I have some friends. They have 3 children. 1 blonde, 1 brunette, 1 redhead. And just genetics are messed up.
My mother and father? Both left-handed.
Your mother and father are both left-handed.
Now, if you look at me, they don't know my mother and father. I look very much like both of them.
Okay.
There's no shenanigans going on there. But I am right-handed, which shouldn't be possible.
Is that how that works?
Yes.
Interesting. There's no... I look just like them, so no shenanigans.
I highly doubt it. There's just too damn much of my father in me.
Sure.
Mother ugly herself. She cut up your face when you looked at her.
Don't talk about my mother!
Don't talk about my mommy.
Don't listen to him, lad. He's trying to rile you up.
Idiots!
The sons of Thor are welcome to try.
Head!
Sorry, overstepped, yeah? From behind, from behind.
Oh. Rich's love of baseball forced him into right-handedness. Is baseball predominantly right-handed? Well, everything's a predominantly right-handed everything because people are
Don't listen
predominantly
to him, lad.
right-handed.
He's trying to rile you up.
Idiots!
It's possible one of them is just ambidextrous.
Oh, that's true.
Head!
Sorry, overstepped,
Dizzy
yeah?
Death says, I'm not ragging on the story, just an observation about how most video games still just use MacGuffins too much. I don't think the Mother's Ashes can be considered a MacGuffin, as they are integral to the story that the game is trying to tell. Like, a MacGuffin is something that can be replaced with anything. And
The bad guy wants the diamonds. The bad guy wants the microfilm. The bad guy wants the... And it doesn't change the plot at all.
Exactly. But this is a story of, parents and children, and so I don't think the Mother's Ashes could be considered a MacGuffin.
Stop it!
Boy! Stay focused.
No, yeah, whatever he's doing, I don't like it. That's right. Axeman 808 says Avatar used the literal unobtainium. Right. In that story, unobtainium could be replaced with anything.
You bastard!
Trail!
Mr. Glitch says, okay, Kratos wants to take his dead wife's wisdom teeth to the tallest mountain. Same case. I don't know if you're trying to be funny, but the point is the dead wife thing. It's the dealing with the dead wife that's integral to the story. So even if you were taking the dead wife's sword to the top of the mountain in remembrance of her, it's the dead wife part of it, not the ashes part of it, that makes it not a MacGuffin.
Don't tell me what to do.
Right. Let's see here. Gobbledygook says, so I've decided to study artificial intelligence. It's my new purpose in life. How would you describe the AI in this game? Most importantly, how is the AI of your son companion? Does he ever do anything stupid?
He gets lost every now and then.
Have you had him glitch out on you?
I've had him like stuck somewhere else in the map.
Yeah, he's gotten stuck on me a few times.
Stay focused.
To where I've had to actually like restart from my last save. But I'd say it's pretty basic AI. Knowing very little about AI, I'd say it's pretty basic. I think you can reflect that back to him, by the way, when he does that. Nothing, you know, there's no, like we said, there's no, like, infighting between monsters. There's no goofy monster stuff. They all just kind of attack you and leave each other alone. Nice. Nicely done.
Looks like they need another lesson.
That was a silly little animation cycle where he was just taking your axe hits, not doing much. But no, you know, the kid does a pretty decent job on his own, like taking care of enemies, doing shit.
Don't tell me what to do. I can't remember the last time we played a challenge. Of course it's a challenge. An old man and his newborn.
Fuck you.
Oh, that was close, Rich. You did it. You came really close. Chat is reminding you to use your arrows more. Don't forget about, and you know, you have the boars too, or whatever weapon.
The arrows don't seem all that effective on these guys.
Maybe switch to your blue arrows, because I think that might stun or slow them down.
They were since I restarted. They got to switch back.
Yeah, and don't forget about your animal for helper friends. Your spirit animals. Gobbledygook says the new Transformers Power of the Primes season premiere is this Monday.
I don't give a shit at all.
On Machinima. Ron Perlman, Judd Nelson, Will Wheaton, and Mark Hamill are lending their voices. Most thing I'm looking towards. Transformers Power of the Prime.
I'm happy for you, but I haven't given much of a shit about Transformers in 30 years.
Is this a new I assume a new cartoon. Yeah. I just don't care. Those wolves are well, Rich has the boars right now. I like the wolves. Just because they do decent regular damage and stun damage. But, you know, they all have their pros and cons. Yeah, Rich, you have a Healy stone, and don't forget about your your 2 power stones.
My superpower.
Yeah.
Whoopty-whoops. Yeah, I'm gonna use them.
I can't remember the last time we faced an challenge.
There you go. Now that hit him plenty. Nice. See, that's fun. Calling your axe back and having it smack people on the way back to you. That's great. That's such a Thor thing. Is this supposed to be Ornstein and Smough? It's Magni and Modi, Thor's kids. I don't know how accurate that is to Norse mythology. But that's what we got. Magni and Modi. Get him, Rich. Oh no, come on. It's accurate. Great.
I'll kill you!
That's the spirit.
How did you... You have no idea. You son of a bitch!
Yes! All right, kid, I finally like you.
Sickness.
Oh no, Rich, the sickness. You got too worked up.
It hasn't.
Boy.
Why didn't he do that at the start of the fight? Well, because they were stronger. He beat him down. And he's able to stick his fucking axe in their face.
I'll be all right.
There you go, lad.
I'm fine, see?
We should keep an eye on him.
You earned a trophy. You did it.
I did what?
You earned a trophy.
So?
How is this kid even alive after that kind of battle? Remember that Kratos is the fucking god of war? And so his kid is also a god.
Isn't he like 1/4 god at this point?
Well, Kratos is full god, so then the kid would be half
Is Kratos
god.
full god?
Kratos is the full god of war. You didn't finish playing the God of War game.
Okay.
At the end of God of War, after you defeat Ares, God of War, you become the God of War.
Right.
Yeah. So you're full. He's full
But
god.
was Kratos' mother a god? Or was Kratos' mother a mortal?
Oh, I think in one of the later games we find out that his dad was a god.
But his mother?
I don't know. But he's a god, man.
Sure.
He's a full god.
Carve the travel rune to Jotunheim. Get you where you need to go.
He's full god.
Oh, incidentally,
And we don't know anything about the mom.
Can now be unlocked.
Right?
Like that one round the corner. You can get through that door
I
there now that
didn't.
you've
I never
just-
played through the original games. I don't know what we know about Thor's mother.
Kratos' mother?
Or Kratos' mother, yes.
Right. How can Kratos be a god at this point? Didn't he lose all of his powers at the end of God of War 3? That I don't know. I've only played the first God of War. But timey-wimey, man. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. He's a god or not a god. Listen, sometimes he has problems jumping.